Hi everyone, I'm Neil. Sorry, wait.
Hello everybody, warm welcome. Thanks for tuning in to News9. You're watching Game On, your ultimate destination for all things sports. On the show today, of course, India stormed through the Perth Test, clinching victory with, of course, a distinction. What a performance. Plus, how is the Aussie skipper, Pat Cummins, now reacting to the game, turning on its head post day one's session number one. The IPL mega auction, of course, stole the spotlight during the weekend as well. Get ready for all the big moves. Of course, there's too much to talk about, but the main salient features, will throw them over to you. Of course, over in the Premier League, it was Ruben Amorim's low-key start with Manchester United. And of course, Australia's most successful swimmer, well, hangs up their goggles and for good. Stay tuned as we break down the biggest sports stories and bring you all the action from around the globe. Let's game on. First up, India got off to the 5-match Border Gavaskar Trophy series with quite some style, scoring their most dominant test victory on Australian soil. Leaving the thrashings of the 3-test home series against New Zealand behind, India scored a massive 295-run win in a remarkable turnaround at Perth today, which was day 4 of the first test. India's performance, understand, in skipper Jaiswal Bumrah will find a pride of place among the country's golden moments in international cricket. And India's previous biggest winning margin in terms of runs was 222 during a 1978 test in Sydney when Australia played an understrength side due to a mass exodus for the Kerry Packer World Series. India are now 1-0 up in the 5-test series with regular skipper Rohit Sharma ready to take over during the day-night game. It's also going to feature the pink ball starting on the 6th of December in Adelaide. Now, whilst Yashasvi, Jaiswal, Virat Kolhi, KL Rahul will be among the heroes with the solid second innings batting performances, it was, of course, Jasprit Bumrah's unbelievable skill set and self-belief during Australia's first innings rout that formed the cornerstone and the foundation of India's victory. Not many teams have come back after being 150 all out on the first day, but this Indian team has time and again proved and showed that it is just built different. The victory will bear greater significance because of India's shocking 0-3 whitewash at home at the hands of the Kiwis, starting the 4th day at 12 runs for 3 wickets in pursuit of a massive climb of 534 runs. It was about how much time would it take for Australia to capitulate, and they eventually did, despite a counter-attacking 89 runs by Travis Head that was only delaying the inevitable. Despite 2 other resolute knocks by Mitchell Marsh and Travis Head, respectively, Indian bowlers wrapped up the entire home team second innings in 50 overs and 4 deliveries, with Jasprit Bumrah leading the attack from the front. And Bumrah followed his first innings 5-wicket haul with 3 for 42, while Mohammad Siraj also chipped in with 3 scalps, whilst 26-year-old Nitish Kumar Reddy, what a batting all-rounder, and 22-year-old Harshit Rana made dream debuts for India. Nitish, India's top run getter in the first innings with 41 runs, remained unbeaten for a 27-ball 38 in the second innings, and Rana 3 and 1 wickets respectively in the first and second innings, ensuring a match worth 1,000 celebrations in each aspect of the game. The Perth Test, of course, passed, that too with distinction. Meanwhile, Australian captain Pat Cummins, he summed up the match after India's emphatic win at Perth. He also confessed that the home team tried different things, but nothing worked well for the Aussies. Let's listen in to what Pat Cummins had to say.
Look, I think there's a fair few things. 150, thought places quite well. Obviously, game sped up that night of day 1. They bowled terrifically well and, put a dent into us. And, once the pitch started to slow down a little bit, obviously we weren't as well placed and we're back out in the field and couldn't get the breakthroughs. But I thought they played really well. Just not much really went our way this game. We tried plenty of different plans, in the bowling side of things. Some of them looked pretty good, but didn't necessarily come off straight away. others not so much. But I thought there was some good information gathered there that we can take into the rest of the series. And for the batters, I think it's really individual. I think it's, I dare say the Adelaide wicket's going to be a little bit different to here. So it's about, resetting. When are you at your best? What's your game plan? How are you going to look to be positive, score runs? Those are the conversations that, I'm sure most people have.
Well, meanwhile, Indian skipper Jaiswal Bumrah was named the player of the match as he led India by example in the absence of Rohit Sharma with a match haul of 8 wickets. Following his 5-4 in the first innings, the stand-in India skipper also returned innings best bowling figures as Australia were dismissed for just 238 in a chase of a mammoth 554 run target. Jasprit Bumrah had derailed the home team chase by dismissing opener Nathan McSweeney and Marnus Labuschagne on Sunday evening. The home team could never recover from the blows, and Pat Cummins, the night watchman, that project failed as well. However, Indian captain felt that Yashasvi Jaiswal was entitled for the player of the match award. He lauded the young opener for scoring 161 runs in the second innings. Bumrah was mighty pleased with opener Yashasvi as the southpaw was playing his first game in Australia, let alone Perth. The 22-year-old had not visited Australia, even with a team of different age groups in the past as well. And speaking right after the match, Jasprit Bumrah said, and I quote, "I would have given my player of the match to Yashasvi Jaiswal. It was his first test in Australia, and the way he responded after the first inning failure showed his character. He likes to play attacking cricket, but he left a lot of balls in Perth to play a big knock. He made adjustments and curbed his aggressive style of batting a bit. This was his best knock, as the pitch had something for the bowlers and he was under pressure throughout after what happened in the first innings. His performance is good news for the Indian team nonetheless." I unquote. Now, Jasprit Bumrah's counterpart in the Australian camp, Pat Cummins, was all praise for the Indian captain, saying that his spell on day one made it tricky for the home team and the batters to navigate through it all down under. Listen in to what Pat Cummins had to say for Jasprit Bumrah.
Yeah, I thought he bowled really well. Obviously he's one of the best in the world. He's always going to be a challenge, so we've got to come up with some, ways to combat that. I thought particularly that day one, his spell, spell of the Indian guys made it really tricky for obviously our team to navigate through. So, yeah, he bowled well, throughout the game like he does most games.
Well, now Yashasvi Jaiswal made a gritty 161 in only his second innings on Australian soil, laying a solid foundation for India's big total in the second innings with a 201-run opening partnership stand with KL Rahul. And Yashasvi Jaiswal, who was out for an 8-ball duck in the first innings, slammed his fourth Test 100 with a remarkable ramped 6 off of pacer Josh Hazlewood. The 22-year-old said he was mentally prepared for it. He credited his fearless mindset and ability to take brave decisions for the exceptional knock, which created the base to give the Aussies an unsaleable 553-run target to save and win the match. A determined Yashasvi Jaiswal battled for 432 minutes to score 161 off of 297 deliveries with the help of 15 fours and 3 sixes to his name. He appeared well in control during the frustrated Australian attack. Of course, this on the Perth pitch that supported pace more than the spin because of the bounce, and appeared well on course for a double ton before being caught at short wide off by Steve Smith whilst playing a cut uppishly. Jaiswal also said the knock was also very special for himself. And I quote, take a look at this. "I always wanted to play with a fearless mindset. I always believe in myself and take those brave decisions." So it was amazing experience to play against such quality bowlers in their country, and it's special to score 100 against the world's best. "I never thought I would get this big 100 as my goals were small, taking it session by session. One step, one punch, one round at a time for Yashasvi Jaiswal, but anything he touches seems to be turning into gold at this point in time." But hey, it's not just about Jasprit Bumrah and Yashasvi Jaiswal. Virat Kolhi brought all his technical expertise and grit into play to score the 30th 100 on the third day of the first test against Australia in Perth, leaving behind his long struggle for form in the run-up to the 5-match border Gavaskar trophy. And this was Virat Kohli's 7th century in Australia as he surpassed Sachin Tendulkar's record 600-plus knocks by an Indian down under. Kohli's last century before the ton in Perth was 121 against the West Indies at Port of Spain in July 2023. The 100 at the Optus Stadium ended an unprecedented streak of Kohli run for 15 innings without a three-figure knock. Dismissed after 12 deliveries and 5 runs in the first innings, Kohli batted with grit and determination in the second to post an unbeaten 100 of only 143 balls with 8 fours and 2 sixes to his name, with stand-in skipper declaring the innings as Kohli reached the milestone with a boundary. He neutralized the pace and bounce off the pitch where 20 wickets had fallen to fast bowlers in the first 2 innings. Former Indian captain and coach Ravi Shastri was among the host of cricket pundits to hail the great knock in Perth. He said, and I quote, take a look at this, 700s in Australia, the big stage, the big ground, one of the bounciest pitches in the world. I doubt an overseas player in the last 15 years has come to Australia and played in this fashion. They call him the king. To get 100 in the very first test match of the series, it is a terrific signal for India. It is ominous for from Australia's point of view, but look at the joy. It's a popular 100, and I think fans the world over wanted to see this bloke come to Australia and perform again. But with the century at Perth, ladies and gentlemen, the venue of his majestic 100 in 2018, Kohli pushed behind the struggles of the past. However, even during a moment of self-gratification, Kohli's priority remained the team's cause, as the think tank wanted to make tired Australians bat for a few overs on the third day. Kohli rose to the occasion to accelerate the scoring as he played some improvised shots and did not hesitate to take risks as the Indian dressing room and millions of fans waited for him to reach the 3-figure mark. He reached his 100 with a full-blooded sweep off of Manas Labuschagne. He also picked up a boundary off a reverse sweep. The shots the 36-year-old seldom plays. Taking to Adam Gilchrist, of course, later on, who was on the broadcaster's duty, Kohli said, and I quote, "What goes on in the head when you don't play well? You make a few mistakes after getting yourself in. I just wanted to contribute to the team's cause. I don't want to hang around just for the sake of it." Kohli also became the 4th Indian batter to register 30 or more centuries in Test cricket after Sunil Gavaskar, Sachin Tendulkar and Rahul Dravid. He also mentioned his wife Anushka Sharma, the closest person who understands all his innermost feelings during an extended phase of frustration in red ball cricket. Anushka has been right by my side through thick and thin. She knows everything that goes on behind the scene. I take pride in performing for the country. Feels amazing. The fact that she's here makes it even more special. And after speaking to Adam Gilchrist, Kohli stood at the ground, soaking in all the applause from his teammates and from 26,166 strong weekend crowd. Let's listen in to 2 gentlemen, former India pacer Madan Lal and Kohli's childhood coach Rajkumar Sharma, what they say about the century at Perth. The duo have watched Kohli going up the ranks since his age group cricket. Listen in.
नहीं देखिए, वो तो पहले ही दिग्गज बल्लेबाज हैं, वर्ल्ड के बेस्ट बैट्समैन हैं, और क्योंकि जितने भी बड़े बैट्समैन होने इनकी फॉर्म कभी भी आ सकती है, इनकी ज़्यादा फेल्योर होती नहीं है। एक आधी इनिंग या 2 इनिंग के बाद ये बड़ा 100 खेल ही देते हैं। तो रिकॉर्ड जैसे वो बैटिंग कर रहे हैं, जैसे वो खेल रहे हैं, तो रिकॉर्ड तो टूटते चले जाएंगे। जो क्रिकेट खेलने वाले हैं, जो पहचानने वाले हैं, जो उनके फैन हैं, वो तो जानते हैं अभी विराट कोहली कितना बड़ा प्लेयर है। बाकी तो देखिए, आजकल सोशल मीडिया में कोई भी क्रिटिसाइज किसी को भी करता है, कोई भी, पर क्रिकेटर कभी किसी को ऐसा क्रिटिसाइज नहीं करता, क्योंकि उनका जो परफॉर्मेंस है वो बहुत ही बेहतरीन है। जब तक उनकी फॉर्म अच्छी चल रही है वो तो खेलते रहें, क्योंकि इंडिया नीड्स हिम।
जब हम पहला मैच पर्थ में खेल रहे होते हैं तो एक वो स्ट्रेटजी होती है ऑस्ट्रेलिया की कि हम फास्ट विकेट पे जो टूरिंग टीम है उसको सरप्राइज करेंगे, लेकिन भारत ने बहुत ही शानदार प्रदर्शन करके ये मैच जीता है। तो बहुत बड़ा अचीवमेंट है ये आज भारत का। बेहद शानदार पारी यशस्वी जायसवाल की, मैं कहूंगा एक 22-year-old यंगस्टर ऑस्ट्रेलिया में जाकर उस ऑस्ट्रेलियन अटैक को इतना पॉजिटिव इंटेंट के साथ उन्होंने बल्लेबाजी की, और उसके बाद फिर विराट ने तो कुछ प्रूव करने को है नहीं। वो उसका 7th 100 है ऑस्ट्रेलिया में, और जो हाईएस्ट नंबर है आज तक किसी भी इंडियन का। तो बहुत शानदार पारी खेली, और जो कुछ लोगों को लग रहा था कि वो आउट ऑफ फॉर्म है, तो उन्होंने बताया कि ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, वो बहुत शानदार फॉर्म में है और बेहतरीन पारी विराट की।
Meanwhile, the Indian Premier League mega auction for the upcoming 2025 season witnessed 2 record bids in a span of several hours, with Team India wicketkeeper batter Rishabh Pant becoming the most expensive player in the history of cricket's richest professional competition, the IPL. Shortly after Punjab Kings and Shreyas Iyer have sprung a surprise with an unprecedented winning bid, Lucknow Super Giants romped home Rishabh Pant for a record 27 crore rupees. And Rishabh Pant, after being dropped by the Delhi Capitals, had entered the auction pool for a base price of rupees 2 crores. Delhi Capitals tried to exercise their right to match for Pant, but the Super Giants stable took the bid beyond the Delhi franchisee's economics. Earlier, many an eyebrows were raised when Punjab Kings committed 26.75 crore rupees for last year's IPL champion, captain Shreyas Iyer, who too had a base price of 2 crore rupees. And Shreyas Iyer appeared to be the name in demand on Sunday, as Venkatesh Iyer also won a stunning bid to stay in Kolkata Knight Riders for 23.75 crore rupees. Punjab Kings entered the auction with big fat purse and they spent lavishly as well. India white ball pacer Arshdeep Singh went to Punjab for 18 crore rupees from a base price of 2 crore rupees. Punjab also committed rupees 18 crore for India spinner Yuzvendra Chahal, who too had a base price of rupees 2 crores. Jos Buttler garnered the best bid among the overseas players, as Gujarat Titans made a winning bid of 15.75 crore rupees for, well, the hitting batsman Jos Buttler, of course this time going to the Gujarat Titans. Meanwhile, shifting our focus here to the world of football, because there is a big headline that everybody's talking about. Of course, Tottenham did defeat Manchester City by 4 goals, and this is a very sad streak for Pep Guardiola, but it was Ruben Amorim's journey and its beginning. His journey as the Manchester United coach, it began with a draw 1-1 at Ipswich Town in the Premier League. Two teams played out a barren second half, highlighted by a number of chances and missed chances rather, after Marcus Rashford's only second-minute goal, which was neutralized by Omari Hutchinson minutes before the break of the first half. There was an electric atmosphere nonetheless at Portman Road, but Manchester United silenced the home fans as Rashford, who stole in between two defenders to steer the ball home after a brilliant run down the right side by Amad Diallo. This is, mind you, the second minute of the match. Manchester goalkeeper Andre Onana made a couple of brilliant saves, and one of them was too brilliant, a one-handed save to deny Liam Delap as half-time loomed, but Ipswich found the equaliser in the 43rd minute with Hutchinson curling a shot into the top corner, helped by a little bit of a deflection of the visiting defender Nusair Mazraoui. After the break, Ipswich striker Sam Szmodics almost scored with a back heel that Onana saved with his feet, but neither side could find a winner. The result, of course, leaves United in 12th place with 16 points, 6 off of the top 4. Ipswich are currently 18th with 9 points. Johnny Evans, Christian Eriksen and Alejandro Garnacho were back in United's starting lineup, as 39-year-old Amorim made the 3 changes from the win over Leicester City in the final match under interim manager Ruud van Nistelrooy just 2 weeks ago. New Manchester United coach Amorim accepted that he was anxious during the match and dropped a hint about having a new structure to lift the team altogether.
It's hard to expect anything now. It's like it's not a surprise, but you have to see it in game. So that's why I was a little bit anxious, because you cannot understand what will happen in the game. I felt that they were trying, they were thinking too much during the game, and that is normal. We start very well, but then we should have more possession with the ball, kept more the ball, and sometimes we had the ball in the defense, and the rest of the guys were too stuck because they were thinking where I should be. So this is the first point. When we make a new structure and you are so clear on that, they need time to have some fluidity in the game. So I felt that, but it's through trainings, and they did okay.
Well, now Amorim replaced Erik ten Hag after the Dutchman was sacked earlier on. The United fans were keen to find out how he would change the lineup as the former Sporting coach tries to bring success to the Old Trafford club after years of underachievement. A draw, however, was about the right result in the end after United's fast start. It is 11 years since they won the Premier League under Sir Alex Ferguson, beg your pardon. And after this latest low key performance, Amorim has plenty of work to do to make them challengers of the Premier League once again. What's it going to be? Well, we'll have to wait and find out.
I know it's frustrating for the fans, but we are changing so much in this moment with a lot of games. We are going to suffer for a long period, and we will try to win games. This will take time, but I know we have to win games. We could win, we could lose if it was not Onana. So we have to understand that and think and be pragmatical that these guys had 2 days to train and to change so much. It's hard for the players in 3 days to try to cope with everything, but we have 2 ways. Or we forget about the new idea, and I think that's why I was here. I was brought here in the middle of the season, and we try to cope with the things that I used to do it, and next year in the same stage we'll be here with the same problems. Or we start now, we risk a little bit, we suffer a little bit, and in the next year we will be better at this point. So we have to risk it a little bit, and they are thinking too much because we are changing too much with 2 trainings without space to improve in training.
Well, the formation for the Reds in the Premier League has certainly changed, but will it reap the right kind of dividends? Well, we'll have to wait and find out. Currently sitting 12th, and almost half of the season has already gone. But neighbours Manchester City not doing too well by themselves as well. We're going to slip into a quick commercial break here. Atletico Madrid and Australia's most decorated swimmer. We'll talk about it all right on the other side.
Truth. Truth can divide a nation, barely born.
At the stroke of the midnight hour, when the world sleeps.
Truth can end 400 years of oppression. Truth is never forgotten.
India will awake to life and freedom.
Truth can make you believe in miracles, in magic. Truth. Truth can shake the world, move it, and bring it to a standstill. Because truth sets you free. For a century, we've been the